So, chat, big news in the gaming world. As you know, a lot of people have been eagerly awaiting the next installment in the Grand Theft Auto series, Grand Theft Auto 6. It's the return to Vice City, which I think is awesome. When it comes to like the older PS2 era Grand Theft Auto games, one of my personal favorites was definitely Vice City. Vice City is a fantastic game. If you've never played Grand Theft Auto Vice Cities, highly recommend it. Or Vice City rather. I highly recommend it. It's really good. So the fact that the new one is returning to Vice City is pretty appealing. And it's been a while since we've got a new Grand Theft Auto. Was it 2013 that Grand Theft Auto 5 came out? I believe it was 2013. Somebody correct me in chat if I got that wrong. I remember pre-ordering it, and I got that collector's edition that came with the Los Santos hat, and then someone stole the hat from me, which I'm really sad about because I actually liked wearing that hat and it was awesome. But in any case, they announced the cover art for the new game recently. As you can see here, it's going to show in a second. This is going to be the cover art for Grand Theft Auto 6. And it's very similar to previous designs. You've got the panels with various different scenes from the environment and the characters and stuff like that. And it's got that sort of like comic book-esque painting style. It's really awesome, and I've always liked the look of the cover art for the Grand Theft Auto games. But as it's typical with the anti-woke crowd, they always have to find some reason. GTA 5 was September 17, 2013. Thank you, Death Knighter. So I was right, it was 2013. So it's been a while since we've had a new Grand Theft Auto game. They've just been re-releasing 5 all these years until now. But I've always liked the cover art of the Grand Theft Auto games, but of course, the anti-woke crowd has to find some reason to bitch about the game. I mean, it never fails. Every video game just about that gets released, they always find some reason to complain about it and claim it's gone woke, and that's what's happening here. So, what could they possibly find to call woke about Grand Theft Auto of all things? Well, as you guys know, we recently talked about Smash JT and his little theory on bisexual lighting in video games and how they're trying to turn us all trans through the bisexual lighting. I don't know what the original post was here because it's been deleted, but he responded with, "No surprise, they went with the heavy pastel bisexual lighting." So he's referring to the cover art of the game and claiming that like it features bisexual lighting. And dear lord, like, has this guy never played a Grand Theft Auto game before? Like, is he really that fucking stupid? Like, don't I think, hold on a second, chat. I think I have a copy of Vice City that we can look at because this art style and this color palette is not new to Grand Theft Auto. One second, chat. Let me see if I can find my copy of Vice City. So I went ahead and I grabbed my box set copy of the PS2 collection of the Grand Theft Auto trilogy, right? And if we look at Vice City here, the bisexual lighting that Smash JT is talking about, it's been very prevalent in Grand Theft Auto for ages. When did Vice City come out? I'm sure somebody in the chat can figure it out, but this contains the infamous bisexual lighting. So like I feel like a lot of these like anti-woke weirdos, when they talk about this stuff, I don't think they're actual gamers that actually give a shit about this stuff. Because if you're gonna complain about this type of pastel lighting in a Grand Theft Auto game, that just tells me you've never played a Grand Theft Auto game before. That's not even talking about like the Ballad of Gay Tony, the add-on for Grand Theft Auto 4, right? Because like that also featured bisexual lighting in it as well. Like, this is just silly talk. This is just a dumb excuse to find a reason to be angry with this shit, which is exactly what these grifters do. But then he goes on to post this. This is something he was like raging about like the other day. Apparently, at some point, Rockstar had handed out these pride pins to their employees. And so he's like, is this going to be a pre-order bonus for GTA 6? Yeah. To be honest, as outraged as he is by this, I'm over here wondering, yo, how can I get one of those? Can one of those employees at Rockstar throw one of these on eBay or something? I want one. I think it looks super cute, but Anyway, if they hate bisexual lighting, they must hate anything retrowave. That's what I'm talking about. So I talked about this before, where like the bisexual lighting thing, at least my understanding of it, I became most aware of it when it became like a thing that people would say about streaming setups. Like, look at my streaming setup, right? I have what some would call bisexual lighting in the background, which I noticed some of my lighting's not even on. Let me go ahead and turn that on. Boom! Look at that shit. Um, this is what some people would refer to as bisexual lighting. A lot of streamers got into the whole like 80s vibe retro wave thing, and they started to incorporate that into their streaming setups via this sort of lighting deal in their setup, right? And a lot of people jokingly refer to that as bisexual lighting, right? And that's always how I've been familiar with it, through like retro wave and stuff like that. But like now it's this new thing where like games are woke because they're hiding subliminal messages via bisexual lighting into the games to try and turn the gamers gay or some shit like that. This person posts, they're turning on each other. So the cover art got announced, and this Yorch Torch Games, this is one of the infamous like Twitter accounts that are like anti-woke, basically commented on the cover art and said they approve it. To which Smash JT responded, Yorch, what happened to you, man? You're on board with this company? Shameful. How dare you disagree with my observation of the bisexual lighting, the transsexual lighting? How dare you? So they're like literally fighting with each other now because one of these anti-woke dudes is like, yo, I like the cover art for the new Grand Theft Auto. And Smash JT is like, no, you're supposed to hate it. Jeez. He goes on to say pattern recognition and point out, his original observation was that this purple streak of light in the sky is bisexual lighting hidden in Halo as a subliminal message. And by the way, I love how much the internet has like turned Smash JT into a lolcow and is like literally mocking him for this. I can't begin to tell you how many people have been making a mockery out of Smash JT, even though he already was one, to be fair. But how many people have been mocking Smash JT over this dog shit take? But yeah, he's trying to say that like Grand Theft Auto now is woke because it has the bisexual lighting in it. It's pretty hilarious. I wanted to point this out. I actually spotted this when I was looking through his Twitter account. I said bisexual lighting is bad unless Trump does it. We have this tweet by the White House. We know, ever since Trump took over the official White House account, they like to post memes. They try to be trendy and stuff, and they post this AI garbage slop. So they did a Grand Theft Auto style meme, "Make America Great Again," 47. We really saved America before GTA 6. I would like to ask, define saved. What exactly do you mean by you saved America? Because I would beg to differ. In a lot of ways, America seems pretty fucked right now. But the reason why I point this out, the reason I say bisexual lighting is bad unless Trump does it, is look who retweeted it, chat. Look who retweeted it. Smash JT. So it's bad when Rockstar Games does bisexual lighting, but when it's Donald Trump, it's a-okay. Interesting. Then we have this here. Some of these people are trying to like whitewash the game. One of the panels features a woman of color, very attractive woman of color. Let's be honest. And they like edited it to be a white blonde girl. So like they don't even want to see like people of color. This is just racism, by the way. They don't even want to see people of color in their video game. They're like, we can't have this black girl right here. We got to turn her into a blonde white girl. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is wrong with that? Right? Like, the only thing that comes to mind is if you decide, hey, we're going to turn the black girl white because we don't want to see the black girl. Like, that's just racism. I'm sorry, it just is. What else do we got here? Wife beater doesn't like strong female lead. Go figure. So they're not only mad about the fact that it's woke, they're also mad about the fact that it's got a female lead. Strong female lead. Pride parades. Is that a thing? Are they going to feature pride parades in the new Grand Theft Auto? Because if they are, I gotta be honest, that sounds pretty fucking based. Bisexual coloring. So this guy's on board with Smash JT. He feels the bisexual lighting vibe. Okay. It's not Grand Theft Auto, let's be honest. It's woke slop auto. And he like photoshopped a bunch of like pride flags into it. Like, your point doesn't really make fucking sense when you have to Photoshop pride flags into the image to make it make sense. Like, that's just pathetic. Anyway, same person says, I don't know why people are simping for GTA 6 when we already know there's going to be a pride parade and a strong female lead. What is wrong with having a strong female lead? Strong female leads have existed in video games, very successful video games, for a long time. Look at the Tomb Raider series, right? Very successful franchise over the years. Strong female lead. Look at the Metroid series. Literally Samus Aran, right? Strong female lead. So we've had plenty of female leads in video games over the years. Why is it a problem now? It seems like these people just hate women, right? They hate queer people, they hate women, and they hate people of color. Like, that's what this is. These anti-woke freaks are just a bunch of, queer phobes, racists, and like misogynists. That's all they are. So anyway, before we wrap up the segment though, of course Smash JT put out a video on this. Smash JT put out a video of this, giving his thoughts. And so let's go ahead and see what Mr. JT has to say about this. Some people call him Chat JT or Smash GPT, because we all know after like the leaks that he literally, Chat GPT controls every thought in his head. But anyway, here we go.
The cover art for Grand Theft Auto 6
Whoa, learn to control your audio, my guy. Holy shit.
Has been unveiled, and there is a tremendous amount of controversy, we'll just say, surrounding.
There isn't any controversy about this. Most people are pretty stoked for this game. People have been waiting for a new Grand Theft Auto for ages at this point. And so most people are pretty excited about this. The only people that think that there's a controversy are people like you who have to find some stupid reason to nitpick about it. Stupid grifters like yourself.
Certain aspects.
Yeah, exactly. As Mitch Moistures in the chat says, there's a made-up controversy. It's literally fabricated. I don't even think they actually care about this. Again, like the whole point of these grifters is to farm outrage and to come up with stupid reasons as to why something has gone woke so they have an excuse to shit on it. And this is the reason they've chose with Grand Theft Auto. It features a woman, it features people of color, and bisexual lighting. Like,
this.
I think JT just did this for clicks and views. Not only is he a bigot, but he's a disingenuous. But yeah, exactly, 100%.
And we're going to run the entire gamut of it in this video. And I'm going to talk about both sides of it and let you guys decide what you think about pre-orders starting on June 25th for the cover art of Grand Theft Auto 6. And you know what? If you've been playing the series for a long time, this might fall right in line with what your expectations were for it. And overall,
I mean, literally, like, just regarding the lighting that you're talking about. Again, let me point to Vice City. Let me go full cam here. Nobody was complaining about bisexual lighting when this game came out. Nobody was complaining about bisexual lighting when this game came out. This game is revered as an all-time classic. People loved the look of the game, the gameplay, obviously, the story it had to tell, just the overall like 80s aesthetic. People loved that shit. And now we have a brand new game coming out with a very similar aesthetic, and you're just bitching about it. You're just trying to like say that they've gone woke and they're trying to turn us all gay or trying to turn us all trans by injecting bisexual lighting into the game. It's just so stupid.
I would think under normal circumstances, it looks fantastic. I don't have any issues at all with it, except
for the bisexual lighting. Except for the bisexual lighting, right?
For a couple of things. But first, before we even do that, let's take a quick look at the insane amount of views and people reacting to this already. 21.
I think it's funny that he says there's like a lot of controversy around it, and then he's got the like and dislike, plugin installed on his like Chrome browser. Look at the like to dislike ratio on this like game, right? Typically when you see a piece of media come out that has like a lot of controversy surround it, you'll see like the dislikes outweighing the likes, or at the very least it's like half and half, right? This is like way in the like ratio, right? It's there's over 700,000, almost 800,000 likes on this thing, and just around 7,000 dislikes. So clearly there isn't a whole lot of controversy surrounding this. Most people are very excited about this game. And less than 24 hours after the trailer went up, the announcement of the pre-orders, 6.5 million views. Again, Grand Theft Auto is a franchise people are very excited about. So explain to us, Smash, what's the controversy? What should be out? What should we be outraged about?
Hours ago, number 10 on trending.
Also, I love those Pride Ditto emotes. Those are super cute, Shadow Luna.
And has 6.5 million views with 778,000 upvotes to just 7,100 downvotes.
Yeah, exactly. That doesn't really lean into your, theory here that there's a big controversy surrounding the game. So I really want to know, Smash, what's the controversy?
And we have a post from James here saying Xbox exclusives are going to flop, showing Grand Theft Auto 6 official cover art reveal, getting 5 million views in 11 hours for 33 seconds compared to Clockwork Revolution with 130,000 views 11 days ago, and Gears of War E-Day with just over 500,000 views 11 days ago. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to do insane numbers no matter what happens. We got Pirate Nation saying Take-Two Interactive stock rose nearly 5% today after Rockstar confirmed that Grand Theft Auto 6...
I don't know, man. It seems like you're showing me a lot of positive, response to this game. For somebody who's trying to convince me that there's some big controversy that we should be concerned about as gamers. You're not really selling me on this, Smash. Like, I'm not really feeling like I should be outraged here. It seems like this is being really positively received.
Pre-orders will open on June 25th. The news boosted investor confidence ahead of the game's November 19th launch, which is expected to be one of the biggest releases in gaming history.
Yeah, if it performs as well as any other Grand Theft Auto game has performed in the past, this game will perform very well. The Grand Theft Auto series always does extremely well. So yeah, this is gonna move numbers for sure.
Dare I say the biggest release in gaming history, but not without some controversy, because
by the way, Lemuria, this is your
comes
hydrate.
some sort of other side of things. I posted Grand Theft Auto 6 pre-orders open June 25th, and a screenshot of a situation that I covered just a few weeks ago on Take-Two Interactive, parent company of Rockstar, posting on LinkedIn, being seen is just the beginning. On International Transgender Day of Visibility, we honor the courage and individuality.
Oh, is this why we should be mad? Is this why we should be mad? Because Take-Two Interactive is doing some rainbow capitalism and supporting trans people? Is that why we should be mad? Is that why we should hate the game? Never mind the fact that, realistically speaking, this has absolutely nothing to do with the game. But, is this why we should be outraged about Grand Theft Auto 6? His voice is a little flamboyant. I think he's closeted. Maybe he needs encouragement. Maybe that's what's happening here. Maybe that's why he's so concerned about the bisexual lighting, because the bisexual lighting is working on him. It's, transmorgifying him, right? He's going trans, or he's going gay or bi or whatever because of the bisexual lighting, right? It's working on him, and that's why he's big scared.
Of the transgender community around the world. At Take-Two,
the bisexual lighting is attacking him? Yeah, true. Smash, is the bisexual lighting in the room with you right now? Is the bisexual lighting in the room with you right now?
Recognize that creativity thrives when our colleagues feel secure being themselves. That's why we remain committed to a workplace where every person is seen, heard, and respected. And where have we seen this before? Because I feel like I covered this previously with
for a whole video that's talking about bisexual lighting. I just have to ask the question, why is his lighting so ass? We can't even really see him. His background behind him is well lit. You can see whatever these collectibles are on the wall behind him and stuff, but you can't see him. Like he looks, if you ever seen like when they do an interview with somebody on like the news or something, but they're keeping the person anonymous, where you just kind of see their silhouette in front of like a window or something like that. Like it's almost to that level where like you can see his background, but you can barely see him.
Halo situation. I posted
I don't know about bisexual lighting, but you might want to work on your lighting, Smash.
pattern recognition. And just last week, I was talking about how Halo Campaign Evolved updated their cover art to add the purple, pink, hazy, light blue coloring.
Imagine making a whole ass like deal about a small portion of cover art that features a purple streak in the sky. Like, I'm sorry, like, you know, a lot of times these people will look at queer people and say that that's mental illness. I'm sorry, but like, this is what mental illness looks like right now. Right here, right now, this is what mental illness looks like. If you are obsessing about purple streaks in the sky on video game cover art, like, this is mental illness.
On the cover art when it wasn't present in the original Halo Combat Evolved. So it's just something that set off a minor alarm bell with me, especially when you consider people.
It's set off an alarm bell for him, chat. It set off an alarm bell that there was a purple hue in the sky on the cover art for Halo. Like, how does this not sound crazy to anyone? Like, I'd imagine his whole, like, fan base, like, if we scroll down to the comments, his fan base is probably eating this shit up because they're just as brain dead as he is. But, like, how do people fall for this shit? What is the comment saying? Oh, yes, the BlackRock Vanguard colors added again. He hearted this one. Oh, yes, the visibility day of mental illness. I had no idea why the CEO was nervous about its release. Now we know. Another massive IP weaponized into a humiliation ritual. Like, these are the kind of people, the kind of brain dead idiots who, like, watch this shit and buy into this garbage. Jeez.
Working at Halo Studios and what they've been pushing on propaganda on social media as of late. And then we have Grand Theft Auto 6, which everyone keeps saying it's Vice City. It's supposed to have that synthwave vibe of the purple and blue and yellow. And that's the style.
That exactly. As we pointed out earlier, like that's literally the aesthetic, my guy. Like, have you never played a, like, look at those screenshots on the back of the game. I know they're a little blurry because the camera doesn't focus in on them very well, but like, have you never played a Grand Theft Auto game before, dude? Like, I'm assuming, like, you've actually played Grand Theft Auto before, and you know that, like, this is pretty commonplace in the franchise. Like, what is this? What is this stupid argument?
Going for it. I totally understand that. I'm not trying.
Who cares if it's mental illness anyway? Being trans does not hurt anyone. If people are happy being their authentic self, leave them be. How hard is it to stop obsessing over the genitals of strangers? Yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I don't think it's mental illness to begin with. At the end of the day, it's just people expressing themselves the way they feel most comfortable, right? I mean, it's a little bit more complex than that, but on its base level, that's where it is. People expressing themselves the way they feel most comfortable. And, like, yeah, you're totally right. Like, it doesn't fucking matter. Like, I will never understand how these people will go on the internet and call us degenerates, right? But, like, they're constantly obsessing about, like, the genitals of trans people and what people do in their own private life and stuff like that. Like, if you ask me, that's pretty degenerate to me, but that's not the way they see it. Why is this not working? Jesus. Did YouTube break their video player too? Calling mental illness groups it vaguely like a sociopath or psychopath is mental illness. Yeah, it's not right to call it mental illness, obviously. And I don't think, to be clear, that that's what Captain Eggbeard was doing. I think the better way to put it is, like, you know, not everybody's going to understand what it means to be trans or, like, why people are trans, etc., etc. And I don't expect everybody to understand it, okay? Not everybody is going to understand it. But you don't have to understand it to be respectful to people. At the end of the day, if somebody chooses to express themselves some way that's different than you, whether it's because they're trans or not, what does it matter? It doesn't hurt you. It doesn't affect your personal life. Just leave people be. Let people live their lives the way they want to live their lives. Why does it matter? Why does it bother you so much? I don't know. It's very weird.
A possibility. But when you add the context in with what they're posting on social media, I can't help but
Jesus, what is he streaming on? Like a potato? You see how laggy it is just to change images on this like screen? Like, what the fuck kind of computer is he running here? Jeez.
ask, is this something more than what they are trying to make it look like initially? We got Nib saying, I hope the snowflakes keep the same energy with Grand Theft Auto 6, lol, showcasing the cover art, comparing it to...
I think that's the craziest thing about it, right? Is like, Smash JT came up with this crazy theory about bisexual lighting, and like the entire internet is still mocking him for this. And yet somehow, some way, all these other anti-woke idiots saw the mockery that's happening with Smash JT. And rather than say, you know what? This, like, we come up with some crazy theories as to why something's woke and stuff like that, but this one might be a little too far even for us. We're going to steer clear of that. No, they jumped right on board with him. This is just literal insane levels of idiocy.
Bisexual lighting color palette, which, yeah, it's basically a 1-for-1 on that, to which I replied, yes, ignore your lying eyes. Because they don't want to see what Take-Two Interactive is pushing out there, because that flies directly in the face of what they're trying to say. And Nib replied, OMG, they celebrated Trans Day? How could they? Lol. The color scheme has been associated with Miami Vice and Synthwave for literal decades. Not to mention, was featured heavily in Vice City 2.
Yeah, exactly. Like, these pieces of media that you're referring to literally inspired Vice City and the overall aesthetic of that game. So, like, why are we surprised that this aesthetic is featured in the new game, which also takes place in Vice City? This is so dumb.
Which, yes, I played
It's
Vice.
literally like, we need to find some reason to call this game woke, but, like, everybody loves this game. So how are we going to find a reason to call it woke and find an excuse to shit on it and farm outrage and farm clicks? I got it. Bisexual lighting.
City, and I would argue is probably my favorite.
Is Smash JT not familiar with GTA? It has all kinds of LGBT and edgy jokes everywhere in the game. Yeah, clearly, yeah.
Grand Theft Auto game that exists.
Wait. This motherfucker did not just say Vice City's his favorite game, but he's not going to acknowledge the bisexual lighting in that game, but he will in this one.
To mention, was featured heavily in Vice City 2, which, yes, I played Vice City, and I would argue is probably my favorite Grand Theft Auto game that exists. But that took place in the 80s when this was something that was very prevalent. Grand Theft Auto 6 is more modern day, and they're still doing that with it. And while under normal...
Have you ever seen the general aesthetic of, like, Florida, though? Like, because, again, like, Vice City is supposed to simulate, like, Miami Beach, Florida. Like, that's kind of, like, the vibe that they're going for, right? If you've ever seen pictures or video, or you've ever visited, like, Miami Beach, Florida, that aesthetic is still very much alive and well in that area. So it's not surprising to me that they would still feature that color palette in the new game. Again, this is just like, this isn't rationale that's, like, making sense. Okay? Yeah, sure, it doesn't take place in the 80s. Does it matter? I don't think it does.
Circumstances, I'd say, yeah, that's cool. It's a throwback to what it used to be in the 80s. Based off of what we've been seeing around the gaming industry as of late, I can't help but at least question it. And I think it's fair to at least question it. I said, you're forgetting a little thing called context. It matters quite heavily in cases like this. Here's something that actually applies directly to the concern, in addition to what I already shared. Does this mean the game will be terrible propaganda? No idea. But it's important to inform customers of what they're supporting. I find it very fascinating just by merely bringing this up.
The funny thing is like, okay, even hypothetically speaking, if this was like woke, right? Let's say that for some reason this game was extremely woke. The majority of people don't care about this shit. There's a reason why all these games that these anti-woke weirdos complain about still do well. and still move numbers, because the average gamer doesn't care about this shit. What does the average gamer want out of a video game? They want it to be fun to play, right? And so as long as a game is fun to play, it's entertaining, they feel like they're getting their money's worth out of it, they're going to fucking buy it, regardless of whether it's woke or not, because the average gamer doesn't give a fuck about this shit. It's really that plain and simple. I always laugh when I see them predict that these games are going to fail because they've gone woke, and then they cope about the numbers and stuff like that. And it's like, are you living in like an alternate reality where good sales equals bad? Because that's not how the real world works. So many of these things that they claim, is a get woke, go broke situation, it ends up doing fine. Like every Marvel movie that they say is going woke ends up, killing it in the box office. And every video game they say is going to fail ends up doing just fine, with the exception of a few because of like bad business decisions or whatever. Like not every video game is going to be a success. But so many, like this example right here, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to sell like gangbusters. Like, I'm sorry, nobody gives a fuck about your woke garbage.
People are trying to shout me down, call me an idiot, call me stupid, instead of just saying, okay, that's more information. Good to know. Thanks for letting me know about that.
I mean, because you are an idiot. Like, complaining about bisexual lighting in video games makes you look like a clown.
People just want only...
Your whole narrative here is that they're trying to, like, push queer agendas through subliminal messages via bisexual lighting in video games. And you think you don't sound like a fucking crazy person? You sound insane.
They don't want any of the other stuff. They don't want to hear, oh, but wait, it may have been a studio co-opted by an ideology, because no, I really want to play this game, so I'm going to stick my fingers in my ear and go la 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 and just pretend everything's fine, hunky-dory.
No, it's just nobody cares about this shit, dude. That's why. That's why everybody's pointing and laughing at you, because nobody gives a fuck about this shit. Only you, because you're a bigoted piece of garbage. What the fuck? The only way GTA 6 would fail is if they turned into MAGA propaganda. I mean, yeah, probably. Because unlike, the kind of shit that they bitch about, like the literal MAGA propaganda, that shit's insufferable. Like, people are tired of hearing about that shit. The only kind of people who aren't tired of hearing about that shit are the people who are sucked into the MAGA cult. Like, literally. Why is
this was quote tweeting Madden Savvy, who said, want to know who could possibly influence Rockstar Games and GTA? I'm sure you all remember the articles floating around about GTA 5 randomly removing transphobic content, but of course, leaving an other harmful joke about everything else. But did you ever wonder who actually triggered the change? It's a group called OMG, Out Making Games. This is directly connected to UK.
Also, this is their new, what was that company that they were like calling out and trying to do like Gamergate version 2.0 with? Sweet Baby Inc. or some shit like that. So now the Sweet Baby Inc. thing didn't really take off and nobody really cared about it. So now they're going after this like OMG Out Making Games company or whatever. Okay. So this is why we should be outraged. All right. Jeez. So it's not the bisexual lighting?
A middleman.
Or no, it's the bisexual lighting too.
Between government policy and entertainment. If you want to do business and possibly have a voice in parliament, and you have a UK location, you are practically forced to work with these individuals. James Dodd runs UKIE's DEI sector, works on OMG.
Oh, it's DEI, Chad. It's DEI. Anytime you hear the term DEI, that's just their way of like saying they're racist and bigoted and like hateful towards women and stuff like that, but they just don't want to admit it. So they use the term DEI as sort of like a dog whistle to what they're actually saying. That's what this is. But anyway, I'm not going to watch this whole video. If you guys want to see the rest of it, I suppose you can go give Smash JT a view to see the dumb shit he's saying here. But like, this is just dumb. At the end of the day, it's literally just finding some stupid fucking reason to farm outrage clicks off of the most successful video game that we're going to see in the near future. Because let's be honest, most gamers are extremely hyped for this game. I gotta be honest, me personally, I kind of fell off with the Grand Theft Auto games back in Grand Theft Auto 4. It just didn't personally do it for me. Nothing against anybody who likes 4 or 5. You know, they're great games. I kind of fell off with the series after San Andreas. That was the last good one for me personally. But in any case, this is a popular franchise. And it's a franchise that a lot of people love. It's a game that a lot of people are excited about. This game is going to do exceptionally well. And no amount of complaining about woke or bisexual lighting is going to stop people from buying this game. Because the average person doesn't give a fuck about any of that shit. They just want a game that's fun to play, and this is likely going to be a very fun game to play. And as a result of that, they're going to buy it and they're going to love it. And you're just going to cope about it like you do about everything else that you predict is going to go woke and go broke.